In the early 1700s, one pirate did something no pirate was ever meant to do. He sailed up to a fortified harbor controlled by one of the most powerful empires on Earth. He blocked every ship from leaving. He captured them one by one. And the navy, the cannons, and the coastal forts could do absolutely nothing about it. This pirate did not just steal ships. For a short time, he blockaded a country. His name was Bartholomew Roberts, also known as Black Bart. Roberts was not born a pirate. He was a Welsh sailor who worked on merchant and slave ships in the Atlantic. He was skilled, educated, and serious about his job. Piracy was not his plan. Then, one day, his ship was captured by pirates. Roberts was forced to join their crew, but only weeks later, the pirate captain was killed in a fight. What happened next says everything about Roberts. The crew held a vote. Pirates elected their captains, and they chose Roberts. He had been a pirate for less than 2 months. From the start, Roberts was different. While other pirates drank themselves into trouble, he ran his ship with discipline. He banned excessive drinking. He enforced strict rules. He even insisted on music being played on deck. Roberts treated piracy like a business. And it worked. Within a few years, he was capturing ship after ship across the Atlantic, merchant vessels, treasure ships, even armed traders. His reputation spread fast. By the end of his career, Roberts would capture over 400 ships, more than any pirate in history. As his success grew, so did his confidence. Roberts upgraded his flagship, naming it the Royal Fortune. He armed it heavily and filled it with experienced men. He stopped targeting small prizes and started aiming at the richest shipping routes on Earth. One of those routes belonged to Portugal. Portugal was not weak. It was wealthy, armed, and protected by forts and warships along the African coast. Portuguese harbors were designed to keep enemies out. Roberts saw opportunity. He sailed towards a major Portuguese harbor in West Africa, a place filled with merchant ships waiting to leave. The harbor was guarded by cannons. Warships sat nearby. On paper, it was untouchable. Roberts sailed in anyway. Instead of attacking the harbor, he waited outside it. Nothing went in. Nothing came out. This was a blockade. The merchants were trapped. The forts could not fire without hitting their own ships. When one valuable Portuguese vessel finally tried to escape, Roberts struck. He captured it cleanly. Then he waited again. Ship after ship tried to leave. Roberts picked only the richest targets. He ignored the rest. The harbor's defenses watched, powerless, as he took what he wanted. When Roberts finally sailed away, he was richer than ever. Not a single cannon had stopped him. For a brief moment, one pirate had outplayed an empire. But success attracts attention. The British Navy began hunting him. His crew grew tired, and in 1722, off the coast of West Africa, Roberts was finally caught. In the battle, he was dressed in fine clothes, just as he liked. He was killed instantly by cannon fire. The most successful pirate who ever lived was gone. But his story mattered, because Bartholomew Roberts proved that pirates were not just reckless criminals. They were organized, intelligent, and dangerous. For a few years, one man with a black flag did what nations could not. He controlled the sea. Bartholomew Roberts did not live long enough to see his legend grow. After his death, the British Navy hunted down what remained of his crew. Many were captured. Some were executed. The message was clear. The age of powerful pirates was coming to an end. But Roberts had already changed piracy forever. He showed that pirates were not just desperate men chasing luck. They could be organized, they could be disciplined, and they could challenge the greatest empires on Earth. Roberts believed in order. His ships ran on written rules that everyone followed. Crews were paid fairly, injuries were compensated, decisions were voted on. For many sailors, Life under a pirate flag was fairer than life in the Navy. That is why men followed him. He also understood fear. Roberts dressed well, spoke confidently, and attacked with precision. Many ships surrendered the moment they saw his flag. Fighting him often meant losing everything. This is why his blockade worked. He did not need to destroy the harbor. He did not need to fire on the forts. He only needed patience, timing, and nerve. By letting the harbor trap itself, he turned its strength into a weakness. It was a simple idea, and it was devastating. Stories of the blockade spread quickly through Europe and the Americas. Merchants panicked. Governments were embarrassed. Pirates were no longer seen as a nuisance. They were a threat. Roberts' death marked the beginning of the end of the golden age of piracy. Within a few decades, the seas would be tightly controlled. Pirate havens would be destroyed. The black flag would slowly disappear. But for a brief moment in history, that flag meant power, not chaos. Power. Bartholomew Roberts never ruled a kingdom. He never wore a crown. But for a short time, he decided who sailed, who traded, and who went home rich. He did it with a single ship, a loyal crew, and absolute confidence. And that is how one pirate blockaded a country.